Hello my Foonatics, it's Fufu here. Sorry for the lack of uploads recently, I've just been really busy this week because I've had placement as always, but also applications for jobs next year, which is a massive application process that's taken a while and some thinking, and also the GBA draft has been going on because, as you know, if you've been following, I did win my group and I am in the GBA D-League now, which is very exciting and I'm really looking forward to taking part. I'll do an update video when the draft is done so that you can see all my mons, get to know and love them as I will. But yeah, we can do that together. But first, I'm going to show you another GBA battle. This is the single elimination tournament. So all the winners from the group stage went on to perform in a single elimination tournament to decide which position they have in the draft. What the draft is basically how we choose our Pokemon. So if someone chooses Azumarill, for instance, then no one else can choose that. So the further you get in this tournament, the earlier your pick will be in the first round. That's not very important, to be fair, because there are so many Pokemon. The position in the draft doesn't really affect too much. You'll still be able to get a good team. It's just some things that you may have wanted you won't be able to get. But this is more for honour, and I had a lot to prove because I did win my group, but I lost one of my battles in doing so. And most other winners of the groups, they actually won all of their battles. So going into this, I was the lowest ranked player out of everyone who got through their group and won. So I had a lot to prove. And being the lowest ranked player in the tournament, I had to go against the highest ranked player, which was Miguel or MegaMogwai. You all should know him. He's a great battler, really great guy, and an up-and-coming YouTube star, I'm sure of it. He's put so much effort into his videos, and he's really one to watch. So I'll put his link in the description. Make sure you check him out. He's really good, and you can learn a lot from him. So I was a bit spooked by this because I knew how good a player he was, and I've never played him before, but I've watched him for quite a long time, and he's a really good player. So, I had a lot to prove, but it was not going to be easy. Miguel likes to win, and he wasn't going to let me have it easy. So, if you remember how it works, we picked our teams. We had 3 OU Pokemon, 3 UU Pokemon, and 3 RU or NU Pokemon. My picks are on screen now. I'll take you through Miguel's picks. He's got Azumarill, Gothitelle, Mega-Manectric, Crobat, Crocodile, Machamp, Escavalier, Amoonguss, and Meloetta. He has got a big threat to me, in my opinion, which is the Crocodile. It stops my Volt turning, and if it is Scarf, it'll outspeed my Lando. It could have some coverage for that, I suppose, but he can hit the majority of my team pretty well, and he could play around with that. I think Crocodile was definitely the biggest threat. Also, it can carry Pursuit, and I had the Alakazam and the Mew, neither of which wanted to take a Pursuit. So I was a bit scared by that, but I know that his tactic, a lot of his tactic involves Volt turning with Mega-Manectric and Crobat, getting Gothitelle in at the right time, and then taking out a wall or a threat to his team with the Gothitelle. And I've got one thing that just stops that in its tracks, and that is Mr. Skuntank, the MVP of the tournament so far. He has done so much work, and he's basically shuts down Miguel's main tactic. He also has a Meloetta, which it will shut down, and I can hit Azumarill for very big damage with the Poison Jab. So Skuntank is pivotal in this. I actually didn't think that he would bring his Psychic types just because I have the Skuntank, but I was going to bring the Skuntank regardless because it was too good, and I wanted the priority as well. So he's a great Pokemon. I'm definitely bringing Skuntank. I wanted my Intimidate core as well. I realised very early on that Azumarill wasn't going to be a threat to me because I've got both Suicune that can take its hits, but mainly Tangrowth because I can hit back with Tangrowth. If it was an AV set, Suicune really couldn't touch it. You'd have to hope for Skull Burns, and it's not that reliable. But Tangrowth can touch it, can get the Power Whip, it can be really good. So I wanted to bring that, and I knew that Miguel really liked Azumarill. I knew that he'd probably want to bring it because it does threaten some things on my team. But the only way that it would be good against my team would be if it was a Belly Drum set. And actually, if it was a belly drum set, it would be very good against my team. So good, in fact, that it would be able to just decimate my team. The only things that could take an Aqua Jet would be a Suicune, which can't really touch it, and as I say, I'd have to rely on Scald Burns, and if I didn't get that, then he would just take me out with a Play Rough, I think. I just couldn't touch it with the Suicune. Tangrowth dies to a Play Rough, so it could take the Aqua Jet, but it actually just dies to a Play Rough. And Cobalion, I'm not sure, I didn't do the calcs with Cobalion. I was hoping I might be able to live one, but I decided very early on that I had to structure my team around all things that could hit Azumarill for very big damage. I needed to take that thing out, not let it get the setup opportunity. That was the main priority with this team. So that's how I went building my team. I also wanted the Intimidate core, because if I got one Intimidate on the Azumarill, if all went to shit and he got the Belly Drum off, I could get one Intimidate on with either Lando or Mega-Manectric, and then the Tangrowth could take a hit. So that was my contingency right there. Also, Skuntank has Aftermath, so I could maybe get a bit of Aftermath going on. I don't know. I'd be struggling a bit then, but I was going to just try and stop him getting that setup. That was my main priority with this. We can see how I do, basically. Looking at what he brought, I was surprised that he did actually bring the Gothitelle, but obviously I did bring the Skuntank, so that wasn't going to be a problem, and everything else was kind of as I expected. I decided to lead off with my Lando just because it was a really good lead. He brings in his Bat. Wasn't sure what kind of a set he was. I know that he has run Hidden Power Ice on it before. I was a bit wary of that. But I just stay in and go for a Stone Edge because I didn't really see any reason not to. I could try and take out the Bat, but that doesn't happen. He goes into his Machamp. Now, I know that he might have the Ice Punch, but there is a reason why I stay in here and just go for an Earthquake. It wouldn't have KO'd. It would have come very close at max damage. But that crit did matter, and I felt really bad about it because of this next thing that happens, which is pretty huge. He just didn't see this coming at all, apparently, but I do have the Yache Berry, which means that my Lando can easily survive that, and even at the -1, I can take out the Mega-Manectric. So already, Miguel is 2 mons down, and this is not looking too great for him. He brings in the Crook now. This is the thing that I was quite scared of, actually, to be honest. Gets the rocks up, which is fine. I can U-turn out, means that I get a safe switch into something else. Decide to go into my Manectric, and he thought that this was a bit weird at the time. I know that HP Ice doesn't kill, but I actually have Signal Beam on this because it hit a lot of his mons really well. With Fire, Electric, and Signal Beam coverage, his whole team was hit pretty well, and at this stage I probably could have just won with Mega-Manectric. But I can take out the Crook from there. I go for a Volt Switch here, not knowing what the Gothitelle wanted to do, and I'm able to take out the... Well, no, I don't take out the Crobat. I do big damage to the Crobat, and I go into my Cobalion. This is Scarf Cobalion. I can go for the Volt Switch here. Nothing can take it. I can be very safe. If you want... He probably just wanted to stay in because he thought he'd outspeed, get some damage on, or maybe go for a U-turn, I don't know, but I was going to get Switch Initiative there, whatever happened, so that was really good. And now I can go into my Manectric to get another Volt Switch off. He brings in his Gothitelle because he has to. This is just going super fast, and he lost some really crucial mons really early, partly due to luck, partly due to my sneaky plans with the Yache Berry. I can bring in Skuntank, and it takes the trick. That's fine. I get the Scarf. I now outspeed. It's very tempted to go for the Pursuit, but that would be a very stupid play because it means that he could still get the setup with the Azumarill, and if he gets some luck along the way, he could still sweep me, which is not something that I wanted to happen. So I do lock myself into the Poison Jab, ensuring that he can't KO, ensuring that he can't get the Belly Drum off. Here it was quite interesting because he got the AV, and apparently his only attack was Psychic, and he couldn't switch into the Azumarill, so he stayed in, and I'm able to do a nice 79% to the Azumarill. His only chance to win here was to get the Belly Drum off, in case I switched out or something strange, so he did go for it here. And that's not going to happen, so I will just win. He can't even take me out with an Aqua Jet, and that was a 6-0, people. That was a 6-0. I was surprised that it happened like that. I didn't anticipate that it would happen like that. I had obviously just read Miguel really well and prepared correctly. I think he didn't really have any surprises. Everything I did anticipate. So I think it was just a weak performance for him and me getting it exactly right, exactly as I needed it to. I think there was a bit of fluke on each side that he just happened to not, I don't know, not get the right surprises there, and I happened to predict all the things that went on. But I think that he'll take a lot from this, and I think that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the league now. He's not going to let this happen again, and I'm kind of scared about our rematch, because we're saying, me and him, we're going to make it to the playoffs, and we are going to be in the final together, and I'm going to beat him again, so that'll be good. That'll be fun. So yeah, that means that I advance on to the semi-final stage of the tournament, so that match will be coming up soon. But I felt a little bit better about myself, that I'm not the worst player in the league, nor is Miguel. He was the best, and because of his differential, he actually got the place after me in the draft, so he did very well as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I can't believe the Yache Berry Lando worked. Yes! Anyways, stay tuned for more hilarity and stupid sets, because that's what the GBA is all about. I've been Fufu, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!